Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's vlog. I hope everyone had a good weekend and is feeling well. Tonight, we're going to have a look at a packed fixture April list. That's really got some tough games coming. Then at the end, sorry about that, I thought something was happening in the background. And then at the end, if we've got a little bit of time, we'll do a 5 minutes Q&A where you guys can sort of ask me any questions you want about City or just some general questions to finish off the stream. But before we get into the stream, let's get into some hellos, see who's on, and see how everybody is. And we've got Sean saying, this has made my day because I'd not felt well today. Yeah, mate, sorry about that. I'm not nice to not feel right, mate. And he said it's the first day of the Easter holidays. Oh, has Easter holidays started? I don't know. I get confused with the holidays these days. Once you get past the college days, the holidays sort of just blend into one when you're working in that. He says, hit the like buttons. Thanks very much, Sean, mate. And as I said, I hope you're feeling better, mate. Hodge is on. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you on. Dupe's on. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hello. Vinny Reed's also on. He says, even all, can't wait for the international break to end so we can get back to normal again. Yeah, I know. That's why I thought I said jump on tonight. Talk about while we've got the international break, just have a little chinwag with the guys in the chat and see what everyone's feeling about the upcoming month and a few of the fixtures and the bits and bobs. Leicester will be tough. Yeah, they will be tough. We'll get into the fixture, Sean, in a minute. We'll just get through some hello Sue's on. Jack Lee's on. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. It says evening blue, sat in the garden with the Guinness. Good man, mate. I'm just with a nice cup of tea for me, so I'll take those, mate. A cup of tea on a hot day is not too bad. Or, well, I say hot, warmer than it has been. Charlie's on. Hello, mate. He says, hi, Kurt. Hope you're doing well, mate. Looking forward to this one. Yep, it should be a good vlog. And I hope you're doing well, mate. Said Sean saying we have Dortmund between Leicester and Leeds. Yeah, it's a really packed April, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. Jack Lee saying taking it one game at a time. Leicester first. They most certainly are. Charlie saying the weather looks good. The weather looks good to be tomorrow as well. 20 degrees. Yeah, I know, mate. It's not too bad. Michael's saying Guinness. No, I'm not really a drinker, but if I'm going to drink, it'll be a Guinness or a John Smith extra smooth for me, mate. I'm a big fan of the bitters rather than I don't particularly like lager. Dudley's on. He's saying hello, Kurt. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. The Formidables is on. Hello, mate. Hope you're good. Lee Cullen's also on. He says hi. Oh, hello, mate. Hope you're doing very well. And Abdullah's on with us as well, mate. He says hi, Kurt. Hope you're all. Yeah, I'm doing great, mate. I had an all right weekend. It was nice to have a few days off of football because obviously it's been quite jam-packed for us. So, yeah, I skimmed the England games while doing some other bits, but I didn't really pay too much attention. Albania and what was it, San Marino or whatever. Albania and San Marino, whatever really, isn't it? Neil Hanstock saying, I must be alone. I enjoyed the international matches just as long as our players come back in one piece. Yeah, when I saw John Stones go down that one time, I was a bit worried. And I was happy when they got Sterling off him. I can't remember what game. Was it the San Marino game? Like I said, I wasn't paying too much attention to them. I just can't get really excited for the internationals, mate. I haven't really done for many years, Neil. When the actual tournaments come around, obviously I get excited like everyone else. It's the summer of football, isn't it? The World Cup and the Euros. But these qualifiers, when it'd be an absolute joke if we don't qualify out of the group that we have. Yeah, so Charlie's saying that KDB won Etihad Player of the Month. Congratulations to Kevin. I think it's probably deserved. And Jack's saying international breaks are painful if you're an Ireland supporter. Yeah, unlucky, mate. Things will get better, I'm sure. And the Formidables is saying KDB's on form. Yeah, he's not playing too badly, is he? Right. Now let's get into a bit of the bulk of what tonight's vlog is going to be about. Obviously, we know we've got April coming up, lots and lots of fixtures. I'll just run through the fixtures quickly as we've got this international break. It gives us a little bit of time to just have a bit of a general chin wag about what's coming up. And we start the month with the 3rd of April, Leicester away in the Premier League. Then we've got Dortmund on the 3rd, and that's the nominal home tie in the quarterfinals. Followed 4 days later on the 10th, a home game against Leeds. And then 4 days later again on the 14th, we've got Dortmund away in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And then another 3 days after that, we've got Chelsea in a semi-final of the FA Cup. And to round off the month, we finish off in the final at Wembley against Spurs on the 25th. So we have a quarterfinal, then 3 days later we have a semi-final, then 8 days later we have a final. So it's a really it's a really packed month, that's for sure. Just going into sort of what the guys around us and who we're going to be playing, what it looks for them running up to our game. Leicester have 8 days off after the game versus us, so obviously I expect them to go full strength. They're still in the FA Cup semi-final when they've got a good chance of reaching the Champions League, getting into the Champions League places this season, and fell short of that, probably very much likely to finish in the Europa League spot. So they're obviously going to give us a tough game. We all know that Leicester are a good side. We all remember what happened the last time we played them. So it's away at Leicester. Leicester's always been a tricky tie for us for quite a few years. Their style suits us, and I reckon it'll be a bit of a tough one. And I'm a bit apprehensive to start off the month like that. And then obviously a couple of days later we got Dortmund in the Bundesliga. What's interesting about Dortmund is they're 3 points off the Champions League places in Germany at the moment. And they play Frankfurt and Stuttgart either side of the tie. So Frankfurt's before the first leg and Stuttgart's after the first leg leading into the second leg. So Frankfurt's above them in the table, 3 points 3 points above them in the league. So if they win that game, then they'll move up into the Champions League spots. So they've still quite a bit of work to do in the league in terms of getting those Champions League spots. So I think that might bode well for us potentially, but it's that Dortmund game's not going to be easy. We all know that German sides aren't too bad, and us in Champions League doesn't always work out too well in the knockout ties, but we seem pretty strong at the moment, so it's all looking positive. And then obviously we've got Leeds after that, which is the game I'm actually a little bit worried about in a way, because they're comfortable this season. They're 11th at the moment, 39 points after 29 games, so they're clearly safe, mid-table team. They've got nothing to worry about. They've got a week either side of the game. So they've got a week leading up to our game and then a week off after our game. So they'll be fully fit, ready to go, and have their energy levels, which has dropped a little bit given the amount of fixtures Leeds have been having recently. So it's definitely one to watch for. I think it's what probably people are going to say probably the easiest tie on paper out of the ties we've got in this month. But I think it's going to be, I don't think there's any easy fixtures this month. It's going to be a rough one for us. Hopefully we can get through it. And then we've got Chelsea in the semi-final of the FA Cup. They play their second leg of the Champions League on the Tuesday, which is the 13th, and we play our second leg on the 14th. So obviously they get an extra day's rest leading up to the FA Cup semi-final. So I don't know if that's going to be a particularly big impact. I guess it depends how much we have to exert in the games prior to it, and obviously Chelsea as well, having Porto in their Champions League tie before they play us in the semi-final. And then to round off the month, we've got Spurs, who obviously they're still looking to try and sneak a top four, but they're absolutely obviously going out of the Europa now. They're going to be fully 100% focused on trying to win this cup against us at Wembley for the League Cup final. And obviously it goes without saying that we can't take it lightly. And the Spurs players, managers, all the staff, everyone involved is going to be so motivated for that fixture. And I think they're not going to just turn up and turn over, mate. They're given their history in terms of trophies won and what position they're in at the moment. This trophy means a lot to them, so that's going to be a really, really tough game. But let's just get into a few of your guys' comments and see what your guys' initial thoughts before I've got a few questions that I want to ask you guys for a change. Instead of you guys asking us questions, I got a couple questions that I want the chat to answer. So hopefully we can get those done in a few. We got Tyrone's on. Hello, mate. He's saying watching us at the break of work, mate. That's what I always used to do. I need the toilet, mate. Just go sit in the disabled toilet for half an hour, get the phone out. You got to relax. You got to do what you do. You know what I mean? David's on. Hello, mate. He said, I'm glad I'm not the only one who is happy to see the end of this international break. Yeah, I think a lot of people's sentiment these days is they don't like the international breaks, but I know there's quite a few people that do enjoy them. Charlie's saying summer is coming, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's bright, 6 o'clock and it's bright and sunny. Yep, it's not too bad down here as well. It's not too bad down here. Richard's on, says, sup, guys. Hello, mate. Hello, mate. Got some guys joking about Ireland and potatoes and whatnot. Andy's on saying hello, everyone. And I think that's hope all are well, yeah. Hope all are well, yeah. Leicester and Leeds, yeah, we've got to be wary of both those teams. Yeah, Formidable is saying Bayern, PSG, and Dortmund are not unbeatable. Yeah, they're most certainly not unbeatable. Obviously, I'm not worried about PSG and Bayern at the moment, given all the fixtures we got now and this month. Let's worry about these ones. But yeah, Dortmund's definitely a fixture I'm targeting, and hopefully the boys can get it through. We got Dupe saying big up, Kurt. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. A couple of guys saying hello to Andy and that. Formidable saying, remember everyone's saying, including myself, having a tough February. Yeah, we said that February was important to see where we're really at, and this is just the test a couple months later, the next one, where it gets a little bit more crunch, a little bit more congested, a little bit of a higher stake games that you're playing. It's going to be a tough one. It's not an easy run at all. Not an easy run at all. Sean's talking about Lewandowski's out with a ligament in regards to the Poland-England fixture. That's quite good for England. But even with Lewandowski in the team, they shouldn't get nowhere near England's team. It shouldn't even be close competition. In my opinion, the England side's so vastly superior. But yeah, good for the England side that he's out. Charlie going on with the joke from Tom with that bloke from was it TikTok? It's Ollie Ball here. I think that's his little catchphrase. Charlie's asking if I saw the England under-21s. No, I haven't, mate. I haven't, mate, today. The squad wasn't too keen on the squad. There's a few players obviously going to go out after this year that it's I don't really know why they're still playing, like Davies and Godfrey. So it's a bit weird. But there's quite a few. I like watching the under-21s because I think international under-21s is actually really fun to watch. Yeah, it was apparently a shocking performance. I haven't seen the game. I'll watch it back at some point. But yeah, it's not good. Honestly, the management set up for every England level is horrific. It's very bad, very poor. But that's not the point of this vlog, is to moan about England's coaching setup. It's to talk about this really, really, really packed part of the season. So like I said earlier, I've got some questions for you guys, because normally it's you guys asking us questions, but I thought I'd change it up a little bit as it's just me on, and I'd pose a few questions to you guys. So the first question I've got for tonight is, what do you guys in the chat think will be the hardest / toughest fixture for City to navigate? So I mean, I included fixture and a tie. So Dortmund over the two legs is one tie. So out of the games we've got this month, what do you guys in the chat think will be our toughest one to navigate? And if you can give me a reason or two, that'd be lovely too, guys. I'll read a few of the comments while you guys are just gonna get on the old phones or keypads or keyboards and give me your answers for that question. Charlie's saying, yeah, bottom of the group. Yeah, it's embarrassing, honestly. With the riches we have in the under-21s, it's painful. I know a lot of the good under-21s were taken out for for example, we could have players like Foden, Sancho, Mount, all of these guys in our under-21s, but they're at the top level. So that is definitely hurting the under-21s a little bit. But they've still got Hudson, Odoi, a lot of good players, a lot of good players. So it's one of those. Tyrone saying, for me, we'd lose the right games and not the wrong ones. Yeah, I think that leads on to another question later, Tyrone. So if you want to hold that one for a bit later, I've got one regarding that. Richard's saying, I know it's far away, but I can't wait for the match against Tottenham. Want to see them smash it. I'm really excited for the game. Tottenham have always been annoying. That time that they knocked us out of getting Champions League when we finished 5th, they finished 4th. Wasn't it the year that Chelsea won? They didn't even get it anyway. Yeah, we've had a lot of run-ins with Spurs over the years. I know before my time, I know Chris always lamenting about the cup final that we lost. I think it was 81-82. So, yeah, one of those. Tyrone saying he thinks it's going to be Chelsea that's going to be the toughest game. Formidables is going with Leicester. He thinks it's going to be the toughest game. Jack Lee saying the hardest fixtures are the Dortmund games because of Haaland and Sancho. Yeah, I'll give my one at the end, but that's what Jack thinks. Charlie saying, well, Chelsea are unbeaten with Tuchel. I'd say them on paper, but you look at Leeds, they will be tough. Yeah, I agree with you there, mate. English managers are too defensive. I think it's just the wrong English managers getting the job. Why give it to Southgate, who's never had a successful managerial run anyway? Was toffee at Middlesbrough, did okay with a very blessed under-21 squad and got given the job. Yeah, he'd done the good feel-good factor. That was great. But in terms of his managerial nous, it's just like when he leaves England, he's not going to get a big job. So that's the by and by with it for Southgate. But I don't want to have a moan about Southgate the whole vlog. Tyrone saying Chelsea are hitting with the new manager bounce. Yeah, they really are. They really are hitting form with the new manager bounce. Yep. Sean saying it will be difficult, but I've got belief we can win. Yeah, I've got belief we can win every one of these games, but it's going to be tough. There's no two ways about it. Jack Lee saying I also think Chelsea have a decent. I've been decent since Tuchel came in. Yeah, I think he's adapted the system to suit the players at Chelsea. He's started with his defensive shape similar to Conte, and he's using more of a German attacking system where you use inside 10s as opposed to wingers, and it seems to be working. Seems to be working quite well indeed. And I don't know what the Peter Crouch is about. I must have missed something there, or that's going straight over my head there. Neil's saying if all the teams can put in their best, put out their best teams, Leicester should be the toughest. This is because they have a balanced team. Yeah, I think a lot of neutrals would agree that Leicester have an extremely balanced squad and a really good age distribution and quality distribution throughout the squad. Their owners have got to be, and the chairman and everyone involved in getting that together, they've got to be really proud because they're doing a fantastic job given where they are relative to the other teams. Dortmund will be the toughest, says Sean. Kurt says, give it to Big Sam, 100% win rate. Mate, facts are facts at the end of the day, Sean. And you know as well as I do, Big Sam's the man. Let's be real. I don't know what he did taking that West Brom job. That's probably the worst decision he's ever made. But hey-ho, what can you do? Jack saying, I also think Chelsea, they have been very good since he's came in. I think he's helped a lot of the players that were floundering a bit and seems to be getting a tune out of a lot of them. Charlie saying, did you hear about the fans coming for the FA Cup final versus Chelsea? I heard rumours about it, but until something's actually like official, I'd wait to hear about it. We just don't know with these things. It's one of those. It's been so long. I'd love to see some fans back in, even if it's only a few thousand. Andy's saying plenty of attack-minded Englishmen is out there. Potham, how to name two. They're just not fashionable for the FA. Yeah, exactly. I think Potter should be the England manager. That's my personal view. I think he's the best English manager out there for me. Yeah, it was Crouch's header. Yeah, I know, mate. Bloody Crouch, mate. That at home, don't upset me, mate. That was a really bad day. I didn't like that one at all. And the film was saying, on our day, we should be able to beat the likes of Leicester, Dortmund, Chelsea, and Spurs. Yeah, it's not in isolated games are formidables. I think we should definitely beat those teams. But the problem is it's coming game after game. Like we've got a quarter-final second leg. Then a couple of days later, we've got a semi-final win the FA Cup. Then a week later, we've got a final win the Cup. These are massive, massive games in a season, all to come at the same time. Or if we pick up a couple injuries or there's so many variables that could change that could really affect us. So where I agree with you, like on the day 11 for 11, we should beat all these teams. To be fair, that's not how football is. It's not on the day. It's not on paper. It's one of those, isn't it? Tyrone saying Potter's a good shout. Yeah, I think it's my shout, so I'm going to say it's a good shout. So I'm glad you agree with me. I think he's doing a great job. It's a shame Brighton doesn't have a player that can stick it in the back of the net, or they'd probably be a lot higher up the table. But so it seems a bit of a mixed bag, with the main contenders being Chelsea mainly, and then Dortmund. I'd say Dortmund and the Leicester games. Well, what you guys think? For me personally, I think the toughest game is going to be the Chelsea game. It's going to be a cup final. I think the Leicester's a tough game, but it's one we can afford to lose. We have enough points in the league where if we were to lose that game, you'd be like, oh, it's not great, but we're still in all our competitions. We're still so many points ahead. It's one of those. So for me, it's the Chelsea game. I don't know, man. I said on a stream a little while ago for you boys, I think Chelsea are the dark horse for the Champions League on that other side of the bracket. I think they're going to get to the final on that side. I think they're going to have a really good end to the season, and they're really coming together as a team. And Tuchel's, while I don't think he's the greatest coach in the world, he's not a bad coach, and he's a tactically astute coach, which was probably something that you could levy that Lampard wasn't. So Yeah, for me, it's the Chelsea game. So let's see if I've missed anyone else before we move on to my next question for you guys. We've got Joshua. Hello, mate. He says, we have a very, very strong, very strong. Words are hard to win a trophy, but Pep is very focused on the Champions League. I think Pep's just one of those guys who's focused on winning every single game, and it's not a case of this game or that game. It's just winning football matches, and you can look at he's just winning percentages over all the teams he's managed. Jack Lee saying, I think Guerrero is back at the right time. Yeah, hopefully he can just get a few goals, get his momentum, get that going. So if we need him or he's picked from the start, he's ready. Andy's saying that the Chelsea Football Club, it'll be a tough game. Yeah, that's for me. That's the one that I'm particularly worried about. I've got bad feeling. But I have a bad feeling about a lot of games because I'm a worrywart, and that's just the way it is with me. Charlie's saying the Athletic/Sam Lee reported that Fernandinho or Guerrero are set to leave. Well, that's interesting. We'll obviously definitely discuss it when official news comes out, and I don't know if that'll be a talking point for one of the Friday night socials, but that's not for this stream. And it's just obviously if it's just come out, I haven't really got anything personally to say on it right now. Charlie, Tyrone saying agreed, Kurt. I don't know if they will get to the final, but they looked really good. Yeah, I think they're the dark horse on that side of the thing. They look defensively solid enough to keep it really tight, and they've got players that can put it in the back of the net. And I think they're probably more suited to Europe than they are to the Premier League, if I'm being particularly honest. And Jack Lee's just saying it's Chelsea or Dortmund for him. And Andy's saying Sam Lee with the old. So yeah, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see on that one. Shedders is just saying I'll be happy with the league, mate. So would I. Anything above the league is a bonus, but it's more about this particular month more than the competitions. But moving on to my second question I had for you guys tonight is, are the league matches in this run must-wins to try and wrap up this Premier League as early as we possibly can? Or should we focus more on the cup ties? Or is it just going to be the Pep's old mantra of one game at a time, one game at a time? So I'd love to hear what your thoughts on that again. So I'll repeat it if anyone didn't hear. I said, are the league matches in this run must win to try and wrap up the Premier League as early as possible? Or should we focus more on the cup ties? Or do you guys think both of those are relevant? It's Pep, one game at a time, and that's the way it's going to be. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that question, because it was something I've been thinking about recently, and as I said, I'd love to get your thoughts. Andy's saying the Athletic has become clickbait rab. Stopped reading it ages ago. Yeah, the quality has dropped down on the Athletic. I tend to just, it depends on the particular article that I'm reading, to be honest with you. I do read some of the articles on the Athletic, but it's one of those. I think it depends on what they're covering, depends on the topic they're talking about for me. So it's one of those. Marlon saying, hello, mate. He's saying, do you Man City fans think Aguero is your best player ever? I know it's not what you are talking about. I just wanted to know. Yeah, no pros. I'll just answer this quickly and shortly for you, mate. He scored our greatest ever goal and our most important ever goal, but he's not our greatest ever player. That right for me remains David Silva. There might be people that think Colin Bell, but I never watched the guy play, so I can't put him above him. Best player I've ever seen at City is David Silva. And Andy agrees with me. He says, nope, David Silva for me. But PRW Strike saying one game at a time. Yeah, I think it would be like that. But I've got an inkling. If we lose the league games, I'll be upset. But it's one of those. I'd rather lose the league games than I would the cup games, if I'm going to put it like that. It's most likely Pep focusing on all. Yeah, he focuses one game at a time, and he focuses on everything, doesn't he? He's just a madman. Perfectionist who wants to do everything the right way and not leave anything to chance if you can avoid it. But for Mirrors is saying, I think every next game should be treated as a cup final. Abdullah saying one game at a time. Charlie saying, well, Pep Guardiola did say it is better big we wrap up the Premier League as it will keep us keep the momentum going for us over the Champions League, FA Cup and Carabao Cup finals. Yeah, we don't definitely want losses going into like knockout ties, but it's one of those, if we lose it, is it the end of the world? Is it really the end of the world sort of thing? Neil's going one game at a time, but with continued heavy rotation. Yeah, I think you might be think that might be the consensus for everyone in the chat tonight. Yes, as I was as many of our guard of honors this wonderful teams deserves. Yeah, so Shedders wants the league wrapped up as early as possible, by the sounds of it. Noah's on. Hello, Noah. Hope you're doing well, mate. I haven't seen you for a little while. He's just saying hello to Andy. And Jack Lee's replying to Marlon's question. He's saying, for me, it's Aguero #1 and David Silva #2. So, yeah, there's a few people who do think Aguero is #1. Andy's saying they sold it as being independent journalism. It's become like reading Twitter. Still some great articles on there from time to time. Yeah, that's generally where I'm at with it, Andy. I think there is obviously still some really good content on there. It's just, I think it's a lot like anything these days. You kind of have to sift through some of the rubbish to get to the good stuff. I think that's a lot of the thing of the content on the internet these days is you've just got to do that sometimes. Sorry, just lost where I am in the comments. There was a big jump right there. And Tyrone Douglas saying 1 game at a time. But like I said, if we were to lose the right games and not the wrong ones, for instance, if we lose Chelsea, then win the game after, then it's disappointing for me. Yeah, I think I'd be really upset to go out in any trophy, but any cup. But it's one of those knockout competitions. 1 game, 90 minutes, anything can happen. Couple guys just saying hello to each other. PRW's thinking, I think Yaya was our best ever player. I think he had an unbelievable season, helped carry our team, but I can't put him. For me, it's not that. Mark the Blues also answering for you, Marlon. He's saying Merlin's our best player, so he's with me and Andy on that one. Where does KDB rank on my list? He's still got a lot of years left to play. He can still do so much in football. He's still got so long to get, but he's high up there, that's for sure. Joshua saying Pep most likely to wrap up the Prem, then focus on the cups. So he's going with the wrapping it up. And Andy's laughing at the Yaya shout. Tyrone saying, but if we beat Chelsea, then lose or draw the next game, then we're still on for a special season. Yeah, I think we're on for a special season regardless. What we've achieved in a COVID season with all the fixture pile up and everything, I think is unbelievable. If we were only just to win the league and we get unlucky in these other games, you get unlucky. Sure, rival fans are going to say what they're going to say, but they're going to say that anyway, even if we win the game. So it's irrelevant. Charlie saying, I think a great video idea could be a tier list ranking our best City players, Andy, mate. Yeah, that might be a potential video for the future, mate. As always, if you guys have got suggestions about particular video content that you'd like, you can always drop it into the comments below the videos or send it over to the email, which is obviously always in the description below. So if you've got any ideas or things you'd like to see added to the channel, just pop it along. And if it's a good idea and we like it, we'll see what we can do about that, mate. Neil saying Aguero is my favourite City ever player, but there have been better City players. We've had so many good players. Formidable saying City at least should get a draw against Leicester. Can't go to Dortmund game on the back of a loss. Yeah, I think that is quite important. Momentum is quite important. I necessarily didn't think about too much before. A few of you guys brought it up, but now you mention it, yeah, I do think momentum is going to be important. But I don't think it's the end of the world if we don't win that Leicester game. Noah saying, hi Kurt, hope you're well. Hope's all good. Haven't had much free time lately because I'm revising for some exams. I'm gonna have for teachers to recommend my GCSEs grade. Yeah, no worries, mate. School's obviously the most important thing. It's nice to see you on and say hello again. We've missed your lovely dad jokes in the comments as always, mate. Andy's saying, who decides Charlie and from what era? Colin Bell would be in there, but many never saw him. They could be a workaround for that is we could have a tier list from you and Chris of like your era, and then we could have a tier list for like me and Tom for our era potentially. So that might be a workaround. But like I said, these are all ideas, and ideas are always welcome. And it's just a case of seeing if we can what's the best way to do them, and if they are just good ideas. Because ideas are always welcome, but sometimes they're not always going to be able to be made into videos. And Andy on the KDB stuff is saying KDB could be the best, but he needs a number of more years. Yeah, that's basically what I was saying, mate. Agree with me there. Potentially KDB, our best ever player, is potential. There's potential. And Tyrone saying fair cut. Foden will be a City legend sooner or later. He'd already done so much in so little time. How can anyone not love that bloke. He's a good little kid, isn't he? Not too bad with his feet on the ball, is he either? And Tyrone saying, but if we do the quad, no one can chat to us. And I mean no one. You say that, mate, but if you're on Twitter or any of that nonsense, if we do win it, go and look right after. You'll see. What about Billy Meredith? So how far back do you want us to go, and how is it judged? No, I was just saying that it was if the issue was about generations, that we could just split it into a two-part and have an older generation's view and a younger generation. Obviously, we're not likely to have a lot of 78-year-olds on the Man City Fan TV to do that generation. So it was just an idea, mate. Like I said, you're the boss. If it's something you don't think is a good idea, then it's all down to you, mate. But as I said, all ideas are welcome. It's just a case of whether they're going to be able to be put into a video or whatnot. Sean's asking me what was the first City game. We'll come to that at the end. We'll do a little bit of a Q&A at the end, but we'll get through some of the questions. And so moving on to my next question that I had, which is about, will we see Pep rotate around these crunch games, and will we start to see the emergence of a best 11, or will it just be how it's been all season, just keep rotating, or will we start to see certain players getting played every game and it's starting to build up and ramp up to a best 11 with the finals and semi-finals and all this sort of jazz coming up? So I'd love to hear your thoughts. As again, I'll just repeat that. What are your thoughts on regards to rotation around these crunch games, and will we start to see the emergence of a best 11? So I'll just get into a few of the other comments that I didn't read whilst you guys are replying to that question. And I think it's a good question, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And Andy on the one for that said, it's worth an idea. We'll discuss it, Charlie. As I said, we'll discuss these things, and it's just a case of whether they will or won't. And thumbs up from Charlie. And PRW was just confirming. He's just meant that Yaya was his favorite. He thinks David Silva was the best. Yeah. Tyrone saying, I don't use Twitter. It's for females and keyboard warriors. Yeah, I'm also not on Twitter, mate, but I don't. I think a lot of keyboard warriors use it and a lot of females, but I'm sure there's a bunch of nice people on Twitter as well that don't talk a lot of nonsense. It's probably just they're not the ones that you get in your feed if you're on there. I don't know how it works. I've never used it, mate. Stephen Richardson, hello, mate. He says he's an Everton fan. He says City to win the quadruple. Be lovely if we can do it, but it would not be the end of the world if it doesn't happen. And Andy just once again confirming he's not discounting it. It's just about parameters and making it a worthwhile discussion. As I said, just putting it in a more succinct way than me, as always, Andy, because much better with the words than I am, mate. I tend to babble a bit. And here we are. We've got some of the answers for this question. Tyrone saying, I think the best 11 will always play in the Champions League. Yeah. So he thinks it's going to start to go towards that. And Andy's saying he's a male. He's a male, Tyrone. He uses Twitter. So he must be a keyboard warrior if he's not a female. Is that what you're saying, Tyrone? And PRW saying, PWR, sorry. I've been saying it wrong all night. Sorry, mate. Pep roulette will never stop. That's kind of where I am with it, mate. I think it's horses for courses and it's not going to change. But maybe we'll start to see 6 or 7 players that seem to be the 11. The Formidables is saying, I can definitely see Pep leaving 2 or 3 City players against Dortmund, starting from the bench against Leicester. Yeah, I think it will be the rotation way, but it's one of those. And Tyrone saying, yes, very true, Andy. One of the only real men out there. And you guys having a good chuckle between yourselves. Good crack. And we've got Neil saying, once the league has either been won or out of sight, the remaining league games should just be used for players with the fewest games under their belts. Yeah, I think it would be lovely to get this league wrapped up as early as possible because it just gives us a lot more wiggle room in the games around these knockout ties. So that'll be really good. But it seems like a lot of you are kind of on the ball with the horses for courses with Pep, and he'll just continue his endless game of rotation, and we'll get what we get. And as always, we won't be able to guess it unless we're like me or Andy and get 10 out of 11 right once in the first whole time he's been here. Tyrone saying he's got to go. I'll watch it back later. Take care, boys. Thanks for coming on, mate. Cheers for your comments and contributions, mate. And you take care of yourself. And Addy's saying, let's get some parameters for the best 10 City players and we'll look into it. Email us at mcfcfantv@gmail.com. So you guys know it's right there in the description, and just send that on and we'll try and get it all sorted and see what we can do. And the people saying at least Laporte had some good time off. Yeah, I love that. I kind of like that he's not played for the French side. He's always... And Andy's saying maybe each decade. Yeah, it could be a video series, Andy, potentially doing each decade, 10 best players from each decade. That might be a really good video. That might be a really good video. We'll have to chat with all the boys and see what everyone thinks. BLD Football saying focus on the Champions League. We don't need to prove anything in the league. We need the Champions League to take us to the next level. So BDL saying basically focus on the Champions League game and not worry about the other ones. And PWR saying, I think we need the Champions League final at least this season. So it's interesting. Quite a few of you are saying towards more focusing towards the Champions League. Shanthi, I think that's how it's pronounced. If that is wrong, I do apologize. Should we now stop the rotation since we've almost won the league? That's the question I'm asking you, Shanti. It's not about me tonight. It's about you guys. I wanted to ask you some questions because normally it's always you guys asking us the questions, and I'd love to get your thoughts on what you think about the rotation and selections for the upcoming crunch games. Will Ake play? I think he'll see some game times at some point, but it will be in the less meaningful games, that's for sure, just based on he hasn't really played, so you can't be throwing him in there. I don't see that happening. I believe he is fit, Sean, but I could be wrong. He's been injured for so long, who knows? But I believe he's fit. And moving on to the last question I had for you guys, and it's a bit of an interesting one. It was, what player/players do you think are going to be key for doing well in this month of April? So who do you think are the ones that we need to keep fit, that are really going to be impactful? I know City are a team and not a team of individuals. So, but who do you think will be our key players for this little month coming up? Because it's going to be a tough one, and I think certain players are going to be really important to keep fit and having good performances. So I'll get into a few of the other comments while we wait for some of your replies for that question. And once again, it was, what player/players do you think are going to be key for City doing well in the month of April? But we've got Andy saying, don't forget to tell them about your podcast. Yeah, I've got that in there, mate. In case I leave. Yeah, I got that in there. I'll do it right now, actually, since you brought it up. Where is it? Down here. We had a request from a gentleman called Mark Holt, who presents a podcast called Going the Match, and he asked us if we could send in an audio of what our thoughts on the Champions League draw and City's Champions League run so far. He does mainly match going day podcast with fans, and they talk about each particular club, be it West Ham, this club, etc., etc. And this one in particular, as I said, was about the Champions League draw. And he got a bunch of people, all different, some really, really great guests on to talk about their perspective from their team's perspective, from their fan perspective. And it was really, really nice of him to get in touch with us. And I'll post a link in the chat now, and I'll do it again at the end before I get off for anyone who jumps in a little bit later. But that was it's a really good podcast. I'd listened to a little bit of it before I came on today, and it was a really good listen, especially some of the guests on. Some brilliant guests on, as I said. Brilliant guests on. And Charlie's just confirming that Ake is fit and ready. Abdullah saying Gundo and Bernardo, he thinks, are going to be key to doing very well in the month of April. Borgen's saying Diaz, Cancelo, and Foden, he thinks, will be the key men for this month. Jack Lee's going with Aguero, Foden, and KDB are crucial for the next month. Andy thinks it's KDB, Sterling will have a big April, so that's his shouts for April. Tom saying Sterling, he thinks. Shanti saying, I think Diaz and Stones will be key players for this month. Tom saying Foden as well. Formidables has gone with KDB, Diaz, Stones, Gundogan, and Rodri. So he thinks that midfield core and that the centre back pairing is going to be key for us. PWR's gone for Gundogan, De Bruyne, Rodri, and Diaz. Tom's also gone for Stones and Diaz. Neil's gone with the most important players for April will be Diaz, Stones, Walker, Gundogan, KDB, and Bernardo. Lazo's Gaming says, got a quick question. If we sign Haaland, what do you think people who say can't score? What do you think about the people who say can't score in the Prem? Well, he obviously can't score in the Prem because he's not playing for a Premier League team. So it's one of those. I think the idea that top elite strikers wouldn't score goals in this league is a bit preposterous and a bit boastful. And the defending in the Premier League is not so much better than the defending in the Bundesliga to say that you wouldn't be able to score goals. But I think that's just more what people say is a bit of a jab. Lee saying keep the back four as stable as possible. He thinks that's what's going to be key. What's up? Hopefully, I don't know what's going on there, gents, but keep it civil. No need for silliness. There's no need for silliness in the chat, lads. We're all friends here. If someone's got a different opinion to him, it's fine. You may disagree, but there's no need to be nasty to anyone. As I said, I don't really know what's happened. I didn't really say anything there. It might have been when I was promoting the podcast that we had from Mike Holt. Sean's gone with KDB, Foden, and Bernardo. And I've got to read this out because I love Noah's dad jokes. He says, "What do you call a pig that does karate? A pork chop." That's not your best one, mate, but it's not too bad. And Charlie's saying, "No arguments in the chat, please." Yeah, like I said, lads, you don't have to agree. But it's one of those. And Yusuf's on, our resident Liverpool fan who likes to come on and chat to us. Hope you're doing well, mate. He said Matt Holt supports the best club in the world. Yeah, Matt Holt is a Liverpool fan, but he's a nice bloke, and the podcast is really good. So, as I said, check it out. I'll re-promote it right at the end before I get off. But tonight is about the questions, and the question that I'm asking is about what players you guys think is going to be the most important for this month of April. And Jack Lee's gone with Diaz, Stones for most of the games, I think. And Addy's saying, don't forget to give Kurt a thumbs up for a vlog. Cheers, mate. And as I said, if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, put your bell notifications on. Make sure they're not set to public and not private, because I've been getting naffed with that. I've missed about 15, 20 minutes at the start of like three or four vlogs. That's been causing me a bit of problems. So do make sure you do that if you're having any issues with that. Neil's saying Haaland's ripping it up in the Champions League, so the Premier League won't be a problem. Exactly, mate. The idea that he wouldn't score goals is a bit silly. Yeah, and Andy's just giving you the warning, Michael, mate, calm down. All the chains are coming out. As I said, mate, just relax a little bit. There's no need to get so... we can be passionate, but there's no need to be nasty to anyone. There really isn't. It's not necessary. And Tom's gone with Edison as well. For me, I think the key players for me is three men. Edison, Stones, and Diaz. Because if they do well, we'll do well. That's my take on the key players. The key players for the upcoming month of April. And I've got a couple questions here, and I'll answer quickly. PWR says, "What positions do you think we need in the summer?" In my opinion, it's left back and striker. I think our summer depends on what's happening with the contract situations of a couple of the players in the team, i.e. Fernandinho and Sergio Aguero. So based on what they do is based on what I think of the summer. But assuming they stay, both of them stay, I think getting a striker in is probably the most important thing. But yeah, that's it for me on that one. And Noah's asked us, Stones played well for England. I haven't watched any games. I fleetingly watched them in the background, and from what I saw, I watched more of the Albania game. Progressed the ball really well, looked great, looked like the most comfortable defender out there. And Noah's saying, yeah, he did have a good game. And Yusuf, from a Liverpool perspective, has saying he thinks Gundogan and Bernardo Silva are our most important. And Sean's asking when the next live vlog will be. I'm not too sure on that, mate. I don't know if Andy's doing a vlog tomorrow. I'm not too sure what the schedule is this week because obviously there is no games. But we've obviously got, I think there's going to be a couple ones coming up in the week, but I'm not too sure. You'll have to make sure you stay with your notifications on, Sean, so you can find out when those are coming. We'll definitely let you know when we can. Jack Lee saying Diaz, Stones, KDB, Foden, Aguero, all crucial in the next fixtures. Yeah, every player is going to be crucial, but there are a few that are probably a bit more than others. Hello, Stephen. He's echoing the sentiment I literally just said. He's saying every player is needed until the season ends, or important as the next one. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. We're not a team that relies on one in particular individual. But I thought I'd pose the question regardless what you guys think. If they have good games over the April, then City will have good games. And for me, like I said, it's Eddie, Diaz, and Stones. I think if that core plays well, I think City are just going to do some great things. City haven't signed a top left back for ages. Yeah, like we haven't signed. We don't apart from Mendy, right? But those injuries are. He says maybe we'll chat and start the best player of the decade tomorrow. So it might be coming. And Andy's saying great vlog. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. And Charlie likes the idea of that. It's coming up. So yeah, going back onto what you guys think, a lot of people were talking about the midfield three with Gundogan, Bernardo, KDB, Rodri, that sort of core. A lot of the other split was more of my side of it, the Diaz Stones back four side of it, and then there was a few shouts for Aguero and Foden in there as well. So quite a bit of a broad sweep with that one. And Jack Lee saying Fernandinho is better than Roy Keane. Yeah, I would have to say so, mate. But to be fair, I never watched Roy Keane in the early 90s. I only saw him like 99 onwards. So I don't know if he was miles better when he was younger or whatnot. But nah, I wouldn't put him above the man, the myth, the Fernandinho. What a man that is. I could do a 3-hour vlog just talking about how much I love Fernandinho, mate. But no one's interested in watching that. I don't know what that's all about. I think it's the silliness earlier. But that was what the questions I had for tonight's vlog. So it was a few interesting ones in there. I'll just recap the questions for any guys in the comments who are not able to catch this live, want to answer the questions. My first question was, number one was, what do you guys in the chat think is the hardest fixture / tie to navigate for City this month and why? The second question was, are the league matches must win to wrap up the Premier League as early as possible, or should we focus more on the cup ties? Or are both of those things irrelevant and it's Pep's mantra of one game at a time? The third question was, will we see the heavy rotation we've seen this season in the crunch games, or we start to see the emergence of a best starting 11 for City? And the last question tonight was, what players do you think are key for City doing well in the month of April? So like I said, anyone who wasn't able to catch this vlog live that wants to leave their opinions in the comments, I'll always read the comment. I read every comment. And so make sure if you're interested, I'll have a little discussion with you in the chat and anyone who couldn't catch it live. So those were the main bulk of the questions for tonight. We also, as I said, we had a request from Mark Holt, who presents the podcast, go into the match. And it's mainly match-going fans. He discusses their opinions and things like that with them, usually for about 30 minutes to an hour, different podcasts on different clubs. But he asked us, in the podcast that we're promoting is in regards to the Champions League draw. He got a bunch of different fans on from all the different clubs left in the Champions League and asked for a couple minutes of their opinions on each. He had some really, really good guests. So we obviously obliged and sent him in that. And it was really, really interesting. I haven't watched all of it yet, listened to all of it yet. I listened to about half of it and it was really good. Some top guests. So I'll drop once again the link to that in the description for anyone who's interested in checking that out. And now for the back end of this, if I'll go through some of the comments I've missed while I've been rambling on for a little bit. But if you guys have got any questions for me, because normally I'm on with the match reaction, so it's normally focused on the particular match we're talking about. If you guys have got any particular questions for me that you would like to ask regarding City or just general questions, we can do sort of 5 or 10 minutes of that before we wrap up for tonight. So as I said, I'll jump on and I'll jump on and get into some of the comments I missed, and then you guys can just drop me any questions you like before we jump off for tonight. Noah's saying, to be honest, Roy Keane is all right as a pundit. I love Roy Keane as a pundit. He's just funny to watch, isn't it? If you're not gonna get insight, you want the comedy, right? And a lot of the pundits don't give that great insight anyway. Andy's saying, let's do the Fernandinho vlog, mate. I'll jump on, mate. I could go a lot longer than 3 hours, mate. I love that man. What a guy. What a guy. Oh, if anyone's got time after the vlog, go check out his best goals for Shakhtar Donetsk. Oh, he had his hair. Oh, what a player. What a player. What a player. Jack saying, cheers for the stream, mate. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. I know a lot of people don't particularly like the international break, so I thought I'd jump on when it's not so heavy with the fixtures and we talk a little bit more with the guys in the chat and a little bit less back and forth with guests on and whatnot. A little bit of a different flow for tonight. Charlie saying, thanks for the stream, Kurt, mate. Have a great rest of your Monday night. Yeah, I'll try my best, mate. It's nice weather, so enjoy your weekend, mate. Your week, mate. Dale saying, MCFC Dublin, Ireland City till I die. Hello, mate. Thanks for supporting. Glad you're on. Yeah, he was. And Sean saying Fernandinho is brilliant. Yeah, who can't agree that Fernandinho is absolutely fantastic? What a bloke. Whatever he decides to do, God bless him and his family. I hope he's happy. And the Formidable is saying, to be fair, every City player is better than yesteryear's player. Some scintillating footballers are being played in Pep's era, no debate. Yeah, but I think it's all about I think it's relevant to compare player playing on today versus person playing in the 60s based on the pitch rules. For example, the pass back rule changed football so much, so it's easy to say that footballers are playing better now, but rules and changes have affected that. So I think it's only really fair to rank people based on if they're playing in the same era. Era to era is so convoluted. It's like boxing or any sport, but football with rule changes as well definitely make that even harder. Sean saying, great live stream. Stay safe. All have a great night. Cheers, Sean. Thanks for coming on. As I said, guys, that was the link to the podcast. If you want to check it out, it was a really enjoyable. And for Middles, same thanks. Take care, mate. Yusuf saying, if you had Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final, I would have rotated, but you're playing a resurgent Chelsea side. I think you have to play your best team in every game and wrap up the league ASAP. Yeah, but I think for us, Yusuf, is what is our best team? We probably know 5 or 6 of them, but the rest is up in the air. Jack Lee saying Roy Keane and Micah Richards. It's just fun to watch, isn't it? You can't help but have a smile watching Micah Richards' beautiful smile and Roy Keane looking grumpy as anything. It's just it's a great juxtaposition, isn't it? The Formidable Assassin. Okay, then if Haaland were to leave in 5 years' time, Kane or Haaland now? I prefer Kane over Haaland, but if you're thinking longevity and all that, it's Haaland. Kane has a bit of an injury record. It's going to cost a lot of money to get out. There's a lot of things that make Kane less desirable over Haaland, but just player for player, for me, it's Kane over Haaland all day. Great partners, Jack. Thanks for the stream. Cheers, Lee. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like I said, drop a like on the stream if you are enjoying it, and thanks for everyone that's contributed tonight. It's been a really enjoyable one. I love chatting to you guys and seeing what your guys' opinions on things are, as well as just hearing my opinions of them all the time. I know what I think, so it's nice to hear what you guys think. Remember, Keane ended Haaland's dad's career, but from what I understood from Haaland's dad's book, was it? He said that he was pretty much already done and that it wasn't the injury that ruined him, but it didn't exactly help. Noah's saying Fernandinho is clear of Fabinho. Yeah, the only thing that Fabinho has on Fernandinho is age. Fabinho is an exceptional player, but he ain't no Fernandinho, and Sean agrees with that one. City have lots of quality and depth, so I think they'll be fine for the rest of the season. Yeah, I think we'll be fine, but it's a question of what does fine mean? Does fine mean we're going to do X or Y? That's what it's all come down to, and I'm really excited to see what City do. And Noah's saying, cheers for the stream, mate. Yeah, cheers for coming on, Noah. It's nice to see you as always, mate. As always, enjoy enjoy your jokes and whatnot. And it's a nice chilled season for you guys, eh? So nice and safe. I'm sure you probably thought that, expected probably about what you're getting this season. Some really good performances, some by-the-by performances, but it's been a good season for you boys. Moving on to the next one. And the Formidable saying, thanks again, you've been good. Cheers, mate. I'm glad you enjoyed it. As I said, it's a bit of a different one from us as we had the international break. It gives us a bit of time to just chat to you rather than all these games coming thick and fast. And on a match reactions, I don't want to deep dive into some of the other topics. And sometimes on the Friday night social, when there's a lot of guests on, it's a lot harder to get through all the comments and all those sort of things. So it's nice to just chat to everyone, see how everyone's doing on a Monday. Bit boring, nothing much going on. I enjoyed the F1 for anyone who watches the F1. That was good. That was nice. And it's saying 11th. Yeah, like I said, 11th. What was it? 39 points, 29 games played, safe as houses, decent season. Can't complain. I think the only thing for you boys is I don't know what the Bielsa's contract situation is, but yeah, great season for the Leicesters. Yeah, Phillips playing for England. You're a bit unlucky. Bamford didn't get selected over Ollie Watkins, but there's probably a pretty tight one between them. So yeah, as Leeds fans, I'm sure you're buzzing. But it's been a really nice vlog. I've really enjoyed chatting to you guys and answering your questions. And like I said, anyone who's watching this on repeat and isn't watching it live, drop your comments and what your thoughts are on the questions we were asked tonight and what your thoughts are. I always read the comments and get checking on them, so make sure you do that. And as I said, it's been great to chat to you. We'll see what's going on for the rest of the week. I'm not too sure what's going on at the moment, but onwards for when this international breaks. Playing Leicester, it's my birthday when we play Leicester, so it'll be a good game. Hopefully celebrating a victory on my birthday as opposed to a loss, and I'll see all of you guys on the next one. I'm just hoping you all have a good week and you all take care of yourself, and thanks for supporting the channel and getting involved. It's been brilliant, and as always, up the Blues. Take care, guys.